Welcome back, everybody, to the Board YouTube channel for your Friday pick and roll for December 13th. We finally have a big NBA slate to work with here after a weird week where there's been NBA Cup games, very small slates. Today, there's 8 games to look at. I'll be looking at them on the FanDuel odds screen because FanDuel is the presenting sponsor on the Board YouTube channel where we have these pick and roll live streams every weekday morning so long as we got those NBA games to discuss. I'm here with my co-host, PipsNBA, as always, for the show that goes live every weekday morning at 9:45 a.m. Eastern time. And we'll lead off the show as we always do, even on unfortunate 0-2 days like this, with a recap of the previous show's plays. We had Duncan Robinson and Grady Dick on the same game parlay. Grady Dick covers his 3-point line. Duncan Robinson honestly struggled defensively and didn't get a ton of play time here. So he got, and the Heat bench was amazing in this game against the Raptors. So struggled for play time, didn't even get one of the threes that we needed. And the other play here was Kevin Huerter over 8.5 points. He finishes on 7, but Pips felt like Kevin Huerter definitely should have covered based on his stats from the night.
I don't know what to say. Like 10 field goal attempts, 2 free throws. That's covering 95% of the time, probably. Yeah. Also, some great looks missed. Can't do much here. Like this volume is usually enough for covering like 10.5 most of the time. Yeah. Sucks. I will say Grady Dick, easy card, easy hit. No, don't, like as you said, defensive problems and then getting benched for D-Rob. He played only 17 minutes. Yeah, last 2 games he played 29, 28. That seemed like a locked-in rotation for him. But I saw he was minus 18 in 17 minutes in a game they won. So
Yeah, so the Raptors were up 16 points midway through the second quarter, and then the Heat closed the second quarter on a 33-10 run, and largely that was their bench in the game. So they stuck with those guys for a lot of the rest of the game. Like Drew Smith got a ton of minutes here for the Heat, so they valued the defense in this one. So unfortunately, we couldn't get enough minutes for Robinson, who was still struggling in the first half. But big slate today. Let's work with it. Let's bounce back and finish the week on a high note here. Like I said, we're going to be using the FanDuel odds screen for going through all the bets today because FanDuel is a presenting sponsor on the Board YouTube channel. And I always remind you guys, because if you haven't taken advantage of this offer yet, you are definitely missing out. With FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, you can catch all the action around the NBA because they're giving everyone 3 months of NBA League Pass. And all you have to do to access this offer is place any $5 bet on the NBA. On top of this, for a limited time, new customers can bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. So next time you get a hunch on who's going to win, how many points a player will score, bet it on FanDuel and watch your picks come to life live with League Pass. Just visit FanDuel.com/board to get 3 months of NBA League Pass, courtesy of FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of the NBA. Must be 21 plus and present select features for Kansas affiliation with Kansas Star Casino or 18 plus and present in DC. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued is not withdrawable bonus bet, which expires 7 days after receipt. After 3 months free trial, the full price of League Pass will be automatically charged monthly. Cancel anytime. No refunds. Terms, restrictions, and embargoes apply. Limit 1 pass per customer. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit fanduel.com/RG. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut or visit mdgamblinghelpline.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York. We'll jump back into things here. We'll go to the FanDuel slate. Top of the board here. The Wizards. It always makes me laugh when I see the Wizards because the spread here, December 13th, the spread here is 17 in favor of the Cavaliers, who are at home. The over-on here at 232.5. Wow. Is there anything you can work with here, Pips? What are the challenges of betting on a game with a spread of this magnitude?
Challenges is how to find a good under, and that's not easy in this one. Looking at the lines for the home team, for the away team, for the Wizards, like you want to bet an under, but then you see like everyone is out for the Wizards, so most of these guys will also get in a blowout run. So really difficult to find an under in this game.
Yeah, yeah. This, I just can't believe how bad the Wizards are.
Yeah.
I knew they'd be bad, but this bad this quickly, and dealing with all these injuries, it's a tough one here. So, any other comments for this game?
Mobley is questionable, and I think he is going to sit this one out. Like, don't think there is any need
There's no
for
point of playing him.
yeah. Uh, let's actually like I actually think we can bet something in this one without Mobley,
All right.
and that's Jarrett Allen over 13.5 points.
Okay.
It's super juiced on the FanDuel, but some other places have the same price, so it's minus 125 on some other places. I'm okay with minus 128.
Okay.
Uh,
Jared Allen.
just betting this because I think Mobley will sit, and then this will be 15.5.
Okay. So
One game this season when they sat down, Mobley and Jared Allen had 24 points. I'll just show you. This is last season without Mobley, clearing this line in 17 out of 21. And this season, one game without Mobley, 24 points against the Bulls. I would say Bulls and Wizards pretty close defensive wise. And you look at the the ways of scoring. I don't know. I'll zoom this out. Don't zoom this in a lot so the guys can see. They are ranked 29 for pick and roll man, 29 for free throw, 26 for putbacks and transition. Like the bottom five of every way possible of Allen scoring. And then Allen scores most points in the paint, and Wizards allow third most in the paint. Like if there is a perfect matchup, this is the one. Last time they played, it was a couple of days ago, and weird game from the Allen. He scored only 11 points, but that was game where Mobley was playing, and they were playing through him, and he covered. Allen was just not that interested, but now if he's only big, that changes a lot. They need to go through him way more.
all right. So
As a
first
as a
official
small big,
bet
yeah.
of the day. Jared Allen. I wrote the wrong thing. Over 13.5 points. I'll delete that. Over 13.5 points. I wrote 13 plus. 13.5 points for Jared Allen. What sort of fears exist for the blowout here? Do you think Allen still? Because obviously that's what people will be thinking here. Do any concerns arise from the potential blowout?
I mean, if it's a blowout, it will probably mostly be because they scored a bunch, and Jared Allen is one of the guys that scored 6 buckets, 7 buckets inside with free throws. Like the game they played earlier this season, I'll just check the game against the Bulls. He is going to without Mobley. He is probably going to get a start fourth, and if it's not a like 30 points game, it will probably be like couple of more minutes in the fourth when they are up like 15 to 20. So like I expect him to get at least 25 minutes, and I think this should be enough to cover this line.
Just looking through from earlier on in the season, Allen has not been our friend yet this year. So today is the day against the Wizards.
Yeah.
Another comment I want to another comment about this bet from my perspective is if people see the questionable Evan Mobley, they think is this a spot that you try to avoid because you don't know about Evan Mobley. It was a very good episode of Circles Off that went out yesterday on the Circles Off YouTube channel with Matt Metcalf, where he talked in depth about uncertainty in sports betting and how uncertainty is your friend when it comes to betting on sports. So a game where Mobley should be questionable, a game where Mobley, a player of that caliber, is questionable, that should be a game you look to target.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite episodes I ever seen. Like I would say top 5
Me
so
as
far.
well.
And I watched it like 5 minutes after it was out. Yeah, I was waiting for this stuff to. Yeah. So everyone
That was a very good
Advise you to watch
episode.
that. And you can, I send it out actually to some bunch of my friends just to like a lot of stuff to learn there. Like if you like have some don't understand how markets work and how bookies are setting the lines and why are they moving and stuff, like this is like top content.
Yeah, the notion that an average bettor would have is that lines move based on just information that the sports book has, when most of the time it's information that the sports bettor has that they move off of action, which is a concept that it's kind of difficult to convey sometimes to some people, but it's done very well in that episode. I just linked it in the chat for anybody to check out after the fact. You'll learn a lot from watching not just that episode, but a lot from the Circles Off podcast that we do as part of the Hammer Betting Network. Let's keep moving here, though. Allen was the first play. We'll now move on to the next game on the slate with the Indiana Pacers against the Philadelphia 76ers, two teams that really could use some victories here. The Pacers are 10-15. The Sixers, for what it's worth, are playing better, but they're still 7-15. The spread here is 6.5 in favor of the 76ers. Regardless, we're at home for this one. Both teams, I mean, the Pacers, it feels like they're a bit of a mess at the moment here. What do we think about this game?
Yeah, we are going to have a bet and include 76ers money line. that's that's what I think of the Pacers in this one. Like you need
Okay.
to bet this. Yeah, we are going to bet but same game parlay. First part is 76ers money line. You can start building it like
Sorry, yeah. What do we have to start? The money line?
first starting with 76ers money line
Yep.
and then adding Embiid 20 plus 10 25 plus points and then going to maxi 15 plus points. I know people will look at this like minus one, minus 600. I think that was, should be minus 1000 on maxi to get 15 points against the Pacers. So this is third bet, official bet on the show.
All right.
76ers need to win. I was saying that for a while, and they won 4 of the last 5. Last game with Embiid, first game of the season where Embiid looked healthy, like he was moving real quick against the Bulls. Like he played real well. Uh, he ended up scoring 31 points in that game. Uh, but the thing is, I'll show you last season. Uh, so he played last 2 games for Embiid. Uh, he got up to 35 minutes against the Memphis, which is a good defense, and he scored 35 points. Last game against the Bulls, he got 33 minutes left, 1 minute because of last minute he didn't play, so he was on pace to play 34, and they were up the entire game. So I think if it was more close, he will play even more, like 35, 36. 35 minutes is normal minutes for Joel Embiid. Usage was incredibly high, 46% usage. 46, like that means every other possession was going through him when he was on the floor. Like they just went through him. He ended up with 28 field goal attempts, almost one attempt per minute when you add free throws. Credible usage. And then we take a look at the last season when he played the Pacers, 37 in 33 minutes, 39 in 38 minutes, 31 in 31 minutes. So he was getting 1 point per minute against the Pacers, and I don't see that changing tonight. Like they don't have anything to stop him. Like Turner, good luck, man. Like you can defend the beat. Yeah,
That's just funny thing about Turner matching up against Embiid.
yeah. When you look at last season for Maxi against the Pacers, 50, 27, 22. 22 game came with poor shooting. 27 points game came with poor shooting. So he was underperforming and still clearing 22. Guys, if you can find over 21 and a half at a decent price, this is also a good bet. It's like straight. That's the part on the like when you look at this, like they are bottom in the league in defending every single possible way of scoring for every single dominant player. Like they are the only thing they defend well is nothing. Like they are not
Yeah.
top 10 in the single way of defense. Like no, there is no part of Pacers defense that are top 10 in the league. Like not a single thing. So yeah. Also, of course, if Embiid and Maxi have good games, this is a win for the 76ers. Yeah, they beat the Bulls by 8. That's like not good, and not impressive, I will say. But first game back for Embiid, they played away. Now they are playing at home against the Pacers, who lost to the Hornets. They lost to the Hornets without LaMelo Ball, without Miles Bridges, without think maybe even Nick Richards, without Terrence Mann, Trey Mann. Like they played heavily short-handed with two decent players, and they beat the Pacers. Pacers lost 8 out of the last 9 on the road. We know how Halliburton is struggling on the road.
Yes.
This team stinks,
Yes.
and yeah, with how much 76 need to win, and how Embiid looked in the last game, and they are healthy. Embiid, Maxi, Paul George without limited minute restriction finally playing. That's for the in some other cases when they're playing like Miami Heat or I don't know, like some good interior defensive team that can stop Embiid and Maxi, I'll probably still be like needing to see more sample size to like evaluate that. But against the Pacers, I know for a fact they can stop them.
Yeah.
And on the other side of the court, I think 76ers defense is better than Pacers offense, and other way around also. So if I'm looking at net rating, I'm looking like probably like 10 points in this game. So the only thing that could be a blowout, and that's why I took lower lines for these guys. And getting plus money, we need one plus money win. So this will be the
All
one.
right. There is our play. 76ers money line, Joel Embiid, 25 plus points. Tyrese Maxey, 15 plus points. As Pip said, the
And
only thing they defend
just to
well
say,
is
like,
nothing.
yeah.
What do you want to say there?
If you can find Embiid 28.5 and Maxi 21.5, I'm okay with betting him straight. Minus 125 will be the highest I will go. So yeah.
And that for Maxi, I believe, is out there. So feel free to do what you want with the information here for the show tracking. We've got those 3 legs on the SGP. All right, let's move into the next game. Lakers against the Timberwolves. Third time I think these teams have played each other this season. The Lakers are +9 in this one. LeBron James currently away from the team, not available for this one. Last time these teams played, the Timberwolves won by 29 points, 109 to 80. I believe they played early in the season, yes, where the Lakers beat the Timberwolves to open the season 110-103. But the Lakers have definitely fallen off since those opening stages of the season. This is going to be a tough one for them. How do you feel about this matchup?
Don't feel good about Lakers at all. They also have out and LeBron James out is weird.
Yeah.
I don't know how that like it will affect this team heavily, but when you look at his off stats, it's incredibly weird. They played well against the Blazers in the second half. They started the game god awful, and then they played well second half, won. But I don't think they can win against these Wolves. Like, don't see where the scoring is coming from. Like Anthony Davis, a lone wolf here. I don't know. So yeah, I don't have any bets on this because it could run away. Defense for the Lakers without LeBron will be better. Like, can
I
bet
think a
overs.
lot of the LeBron on-off numbers could have something to do with the fact that if AD isn't on, he's on, and if he's on and AD isn't on, their defense sucks.
Yeah.
Like without AD on, they really just can't get
Fair.
stops. So that's
Fair.
probably part of it.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, that's fair.
And he's getting old. I mean, he's gassed. He played the first 23 games of the season, so he's not built for that anymore. Unfortunately, it just kind of is what it
Yeah,
is at this
which
point.
is also fair because like he's really old, and he, I mean, every expectation we had for him, he just like topped it like with some stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's fair that was he 39? It's fair he needs a little bit of a break after playing that many
Yeah.
games in a row. Absolutely. We'll go to the next game. Memphis Grizzlies starting to really piece things together this season. It's kind of great to see because they've dealt so much with injuries. They're 17-8 on the year. Who would have thought with all the injuries, everything that's been going on with them? But here they are at this point in the season. They are 11-point favorites against the Brooklyn Nets, who are still like they're the 8th seed in the East at 10-14. But what do we think about this game here?
Uh, Not much, honestly. Uh, Unpredictable, very unpredictable game for me. They played twice this season. I think Nets won both. Yeah, Nets won both games. Last time they lost, we had money line on Memphis. So tough one.
Yeah.
Uh, Bain and Smart were out in that game. Now they are healthy, like complete. Grizzlies are healthy. Playing at home, they should win this one.
Yeah, I would
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's it. Like, don't have any like bets for this one. I bet already the one that had value. Now the value is gone, and that was Jamorant over 7.5 assists, but that's heavy juice now. Uh, can't do much for this one, unfortunately. Like, you will need to target some overs against the Nets. Can do it. Could be a blowout.
All right. No worries. We can still have 4 more games to go through, so we can keep moving along here. Next up, two of the not so great teams in the NBA, both residing in the East. The Bulls, who are 6-point favorites at home against the Charlotte Hornets. Bulls 10-15 on the season. Hornets 7-17. So Hornets had a decent start to the year. That has come down. Granted, they also dealt with injuries. Over under here at 231. Any bets? Any thoughts for this game?
Yeah, I'm looking at something, but I don't know. Uh, so for this game, we have uh, Miles Bridges questionable, and on the other side, Vucevic and Gide questionable, and Patrick Williams questionable. Honestly, I think I don't know. Like, they could double Brandon Miller. That should open up the spot for everyone else. But who is everyone else on this team? Like Vasilij Micic. Like, what can I do with that? Like, there is not much I can do with the Vasilij Micic stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I do kind of like. I do kind of like Nick Richards, but I don't know the minutes for him. Like, it's super weird. Uh, I'll just look at the games when Brandon Lamelo Ball, Lopez, and Tremont were out. Yeah, like not much there. Like, he crashed the line against 76ers. That was the game when they started Busela at the 5. So
Yeah.
yeah. Then the game against the Hawks, 12 points, like 7 free throws for that's not like something that's happening much. Next 2 games he had 0 against the Knicks and 4 against the Pacers. Came to the 9 point against fucking Pacers, but maybe they played straight up. I don't know. Like, the Bulls allowed the most at the rim. They allowed the most to the pick and roll man. They allowed a solid number of putbacks and free throws, transition points. All the ground and big guys covered, besides Claxton, who left at the 11 points. Uh, yeah, this one is tough. Let's just look like, but the bigs are crashing against this team. So when you look at the rebounds, let me just look at the rebounds. He had a great rebounding games. Bigs are doing well on the rebounds against the like Bulls, probably because they play such a high pace and there are so many possessions. But this rebounds is heavily affected with uh, Miles Bridges playing or not.
Mhm.
So so much stuff here. Like when you look at the points and rebounds for him, when he gets 20, 20 plus minutes, he averaged 24. Crashed against the 76ers and your Raptors. Uh,
Mhm.
close win against Miami, Pacers, and so he stayed under against the Knicks and the Rockets, which are tough matchups. Yeah, maybe I do like the over on Nick Richards over 20 and a half points and rebounds. So yeah, probably I'll make this official bet.
All right. Nick
It's
Richards.
minus 110s, minus 115s out there. I don't know if there is a line on the. Did you check? Is there a line on the
Let's find
FanDuel?
out. No line on FanDuel as of yet, so we will go elsewhere for this one. Let's see. Uh, what what did you say the line was here?
20 and a half minus 1 of 10. Minus
All right.
115, but minus 1 of 10 are also there. So
Okay.
uh,
So
I think they need to lean into his more minutes. He played 25
-105.
last.
-105 is widely available, by the way, here. So
Okay,
we'll
that's
play
great.
that. Yeah.
So last couple of games he played 24, 25 minutes. I think that he can cover this in 24, 25 minutes. Players like Capella, 21 points, Durant, 15 points, Capella again with 20. So Gobert 21, Gafford 17, even Kessler 12, Claxton like bigs running down, bigs covering heavily. Uh, the only one that didn't cover lately was Miles Turner, who is a shooting big. He's even not even running down big. So yeah, uh, even when you look at these numbers, it's crazy. Like the
Yeah.
bigs scored 37% above their lines, closing lines. They scored 37% more points against
That's
their
crazy.
closing lines, not
That's
like
crazy.
openers, like closing lines, which is
Yeah.
crazy. So I need to take this one,
All right.
especially with if Vucevic is not there. Like I don't know if are they better with Vucevic or not. I think they are even probably. I hope Vucevic is playing.
He's playing so
So
well. They have to be better with him in. He's playing so well.
I mean on defense, because
Oh.
we have a
Oh,
bet
they
on
might. Well, that's
his
debatable just because they're
substitution.
not a very good team in general.
Yeah, yeah. His substitution is I think Smith,
Yeah, and like
J.L. and Smith. Yeah,
he's not that good.
yeah. He's not that good,
He's fine player.
especially against like lobs. Like no. So overall, we are in a good position, and I think with the thing that helps is Vucevic is out, and if Vucevic is out, they could be a closer game a bit.
Right. So we'll keep Nick Richards in the game. Positive matchup here. Over 20.5 points plus rebounds is the third official bet of the day. Let's keep moving. We'll go to I think we're on number 6 of the 8 games on the slate here. Moving along, we've got the Clippers away at the Denver Nuggets. Denver have been seriously struggling as of late. Jokic has not been struggling, but the Denver Nuggets in general, they have to grind for every win that they are getting. They lost to the Washington Wizards. Well, sorry, I say they've been struggling. They lost to the Wizards, which is yes, big red flag. Then they beat the Hawks by 30, albeit maybe not. We could maybe not full
The thing
strength,
is,
but
for the Clippers tonight, no Terrence Mann and Derrick Jones Jr., two of their best wing defenders. So
okay, yeah,
I would have like no, like I would have zero hesitation betting Michael Porter Jr. under if those two guys were playing, or at least one of them. Now I don't know who is going to guard Michael Porter Jr. Like Norman Powell, that's awful. If it's James Harden, that's even worse. If it's like Chris Dunn needs to defend Jamal Murray, probably maybe they put Harden on Jamal Murray. I don't know. Like, but I don't think they want to tire up Harden so much. Probably Harden on Christian Brown, Norman Powell on. Yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult this time. Michael Porter Jr. has a good matchup, but last two games he was he was really tight defense on him with Derrick Jones Jr. He didn't cover in the first one. He didn't cover in the second one. In the second one, I think he shot like 5 from 6 on like very heavily contested jumpers. So I was waiting for him to fade. I was waiting for this game to fade. Michael Porter Jr. got a good line, and then news for Derrick Jones Jr. being out and Man being out. Game so difficult one.
Right.
Overall, yeah, we are betting this guy that's on the screen. When we exclude games against best defense in the league, which is Houston Rockets, when you exclude game when he played against the best defense in the league, yeah, he scored. He's over this line in 10 out of 13, average 25.5 points, scored 37 against the Denver earlier this season. Last time he played on heavy minutes restriction, only 25 minutes per normal Powell, still scored 28 points against the Denver. So he averaged like 1.1 points per minute against Denver Nuggets this season. Like he played
Wow.
58
Yeah.
minutes and he scored 65 points.
Very
And
good.
yeah, transition were a huge problem for Denver. Spot up, huge problem for Denver. They are third most spot up points. They allow fifth most threes, and he scored 57% of his points from the three, so more than half of his points, and half of his points come from spot up and transition as well. 38% of the points in the paint. That's still a problem for Denver Nuggets. Overall, Denver Nuggets over the last 10 games, I thought they improved, but they are actually 18 ranked as they have a below average defense. The unders for Norman Powell, 3 unders in the 13 games, 19 points against the Jazz, 6 from 17, poor shooting that night. Opener against the open season opener against the Suns, he was 5 from 16 in that game, had 17 points, and Hook against the Golden State Warriors in a game that he was playing only 28 minutes. So yeah, that's like he was supposed to cover in that game as well. So when you look at the volume, he was supposed to cover in every game with these games. And so yeah, I do like him. Also, last game, Denver Nuggets. I'll show you this on the Zubats example. First game of the season against the Denver, we had Zubats 24 points. Steve completely crushed them. 17 field goal attempts. They were playing like blitzing the Harden, and he was like killing them on draw. Next game, he only scored 6 points. Why? They put Jokic more in drop coverage, glued to the Zubats. And when he was blitzing, the weak side defender was tagging the roller, and then like Zubats couldn't score, and they were doubling him inside. But that left corners open, so guys like Pavel, Amir Kafi had wide open threes. So yeah, made the job way easier for Norman Powell in the second one. So I doubt they change anything. So yeah, uh,
Norman Powell
like
over
Norman
20 and a
Powell in
half
this.
points is the play then.
Yeah,
Minus 120 available. It's up to 21 and a half at very low juice at FanDuel, but 21 and a half is, 20 and a half is the better price at
yeah.
minus 120. So shop around, find the best price available in your region. There's a few spots that should be easy to find the minus 120 here for the fourth official bet of the day. Norman Powell is just a completely different beast when he starts. He is a fantastic scorer. So happy to be playing him in this one. We can go to the seventh game. It's two more to go, including this one here. The Suns, 8-point favorites on the road, against the Utah Jazz. Over under here of 231 and a half. Suns started this season extraordinarily hot, but they've come down. Injuries have played a part. They're down to 12 and 11 on the season. They're 10th in the West. Granted, that record would be 7th in the East, nonetheless. How do you feel about this game here?
I mean, this like even though I do give some credits to the Utah Jazz, and them playing at home, I do think this should be an easy game for the not easy, but win for
Comfy.
the Suns. Uh, Kevin Durant is back, so they have like everyone is healthy. Like they can play Tyus Jones, Booker, Bill, Durant, Grayson Allen, Royce O'Neal. Like they're healthy. And for the Utah Jazz, Markkanen and Clarkson are questionable. Yeah,
Jazz
I
in the
don't see
mud.
much of betting wise in this one. Uh, can we check the numbers? Like I didn't even look much of this at this game. I like tough to handicap with Lowry. I would love to Lowry and Clarkson to play, so I get discount on some other players line and I get closer game. This way, it's a guessing game kind of. So yeah,
Difficult one. All right. No worries. Should we move on to our last game here?
yeah.
All right. Last game up. San Antonio, 3.5 point favorites on the road at Portland. Over under here of 225. Portland, they've come down after a decent start to the season. They're 8-16. They've lost 4 in a row. The Spurs, though, have been pretty impressive this year. They are 12-12, which is 11th, but still, that's pretty impressive considering this team's potential trajectory. On this specific game, do you have any looks?
This is difficult also uh, because I don't know what kind of defense they're playing with tonight. I kind of think Anthony Simons being 17 and a half is like a bit too low, even though he is not performing that well this season. When you look at the games when he played 25 or more minutes, he averaged 17.9. Uh, Terrible, playing terrible, real bad. Like can
Yeah.
shoot one of I think maybe the one of the worst shooters in the league this season. Like of every high usage players, I think Anthony Simons is one of the worst. When you look at the efficiency, yeah, not much for this game as well. I think there are some guys questionable for this one. Let me just check. DeAndre Ayton, but that doesn't mean much. Uh,
It's good. It's good if he's
Time
out.
Lord
I
and
feel like.
Klingon. So all three bigs are questionable for the Portland. Uh,
Although Klingon should play today, I would say.
yeah.
Time Lord's up in the air. Klingon should play.
Keldon Johnson, Trey Jones in Castle are out for the Spurs. That's actually big, but they have Vassell back. No lines for the Vassell, which is crazy. Yeah, I don't know for this one. If I also Sohan, I would lean into his points. But last game he played only 23 minutes. I don't know what happened in that game. So like if he's on the minutes, like one game he plays 32 and then he's back to minute restriction. Like what's the thing? What's the deal with it? Like I don't get it. Yeah, Shadon Sharp. Uh, we had him fuck us on the game against the Utah Jazz when he shot terrible. Next game he covers against the Lakers in 34 minutes. Yeah, this team is fucked up. Like you see the lines 17 and a half, 16 and a half, 14 and a half. You will think like, okay, these are the low of lines. But then again, like so much usage is spread. Like you have Simons, Sharp, Grant, Aiton, Avdias, Scoot Henderson, the guys that are all taking a bunch of usage. Yeah. Also, last time I think we had Simons against the Spurs earlier this season when he was one bucket away.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had 19 points in that game.
Yeah, I remember that.
But they did defend him kind of well. The he was Wemby was not like blitzing him, but he was like on the level, and he's so huge that Simons couldn't shoot over him. But Stefan Castle was being really tight on the on him. Yeah, I'm just thinking about betting actually betting on Simons here.
Yeah,
Let me just check
last time we had
when
him
Sharp.
solo, he had 19. We had the 20 and a half. Just put it up.
But
That
yeah,
was
when
like a
you look
month
at
ago.
this, when he's playing with when he's playing with Sharp and Grant, he's under this line in 6 of 9 average, only 14 points a game. So yeah, can't do it. Unfortunately, like this is. I mean, he can be this bad all the season, entire season. Like he's shooting 32% from three. He's like career 40% shooter from three. Uh, every single part of his efficiency is down by a ton. I'll just check the usage. Usage kind of remained the same every month. Like he's 25% usage. I mean, let me just check the last season. Like last 2 games, 3 games usage. Like it's almost like a straight line. 26%, 24, 23, 24. So like last season, when he had usage between 28% and 23%. That's where I see him tonight. On games where he played 30 plus, every game he played 30 plus. He averaged 23 points. So
Yeah,
a
this
rough
is
one. Like everything you say, like okay, this should be an over. The games where he didn't cover were 17 points with 6 from 18, 17 points against the Thunder, one of the best defensive teams. I know I'm taking a bit long here for everyone. Like I'm just trying to
it's fine.
find an edge. And when you look at the similar players this season, Beal stayed under, Steph Curry stayed under, Kyrie stayed under, Simon stayed under, Clarkson stayed under, Kyrie stayed. No, I'm not betting this. Giving up.
All
Yeah,
right. It is a weird down man. He's had some really efficient years. This is not one of them. Absolutely not. But he's had some
yeah,
seriously efficient years in the NBA. That can't keep up. I'm not a big fan of Simons, but that can't really keep up.
yeah. Last season he averaged like 22 points on like 57% through shooting. Like he's not
Yeah,
like
yeah.
his 3 point shooting kind of makes him like people think like he's heavy efficient, but he's actually not that getting to the line and not that efficient, not that efficient on twos. So overall, like
Well, yeah, because it's just he shoots so many
his
threes that
career,
just makes up for it.
yeah, his career 48% from twos. That's horrible.
It's bad.
Like yeah, but threes are always falling for him. So yeah, overall 56, 57% true shooting is like our league average. So nothing crazy. But yeah, we are not having bets on this. We already have 4 bets, and
We can move. We can move. We'll go into the Q&A portion of the stream then after those 4 plays. But before we do, if you guys are enjoying the stream, please make sure you've hit that like button. It does make a big difference to the channel. It just takes a second to hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, just remember we're live every weekday morning here on the Board YouTube channel. So subscribe as well to keep up to date with all our content, and consider hitting that notification bell as well. Let's go back to the start of the stream when we had Nicholas Jepson ask about Ivica Zubac over 13.5 points at minus 105. You mentioned in your Norman Powell handicap that they completely shut him down last time out. So is that how you feel about this play still?
yep, I'm not touching Zubac with the way they defended him. Did he have some? He ended up with 6 points. 6 points wasn't realistic in that one. I would say like 11 points was realistic, maybe even like 13. Uh, so he could cover because he'll play huge minutes to guard Nikola Jokic. But with the way that they were defending him, yeah, that's not something I want to touch.
All right, no worries there. We'll move into the next play then. Up from the comments here, we had James ask about Austin Reeves over 14.5 points.
That should work. I don't know if he will be limited or something because, but that should work. Without LeBron, he will need to handle the ball way more, and against drop coverage, he can pull up. So yeah, that should be a game where he covers. He didn't play against the. He played early this season against the Wolves. Scored 12 points. Was 0 from 5 on threes. Yeah, that's volume. Then that was the game where LeBron played. So without LeBron, yeah, this should be a good bet.
All right, good look there on Austin Reeves. It's me, Dado. Had a question regarding just general betting. If you like multiple plays in the same game, how would you treat it? A broad question. I'll answer it first because I saw this one earlier and had my thoughts. If you like multiple plays from the same game, I would say as long as like they're not like inversely correlated or anything like that, just play them. If you have an edge, so this is the caveat. If you have an edge and you feel like you have an edge and feel like you are a successful sports bettor, if you like multiple plays in the same game and they're not inversely correlated, yeah, I would just play the plays that I like. I wouldn't worry about the fact that it's the same game. What approach do you take, Pips?
Well, I don't like. I agree, but not to like. So the thing is, depends if it's like an under or an over. If it's a two unders, sure.
Yeah.
Especially if they're from other teams. If it's one under and one over, yes, sure. If it's on two overs, I'll be careful. If I'm like betting like my personal stuff, like 2 units on a like straight bet, if I'm placing 4 units and two overs in the same game, I'm at least going to put it as a like 1.5 unit on both, so I have 3 units on overs on the same game, because like blowouts can happen, and I don't want to lose like two bets on the same blowout when I'm betting over. So like over under, yes, under yes, over and over. I will just like keep it a bit down. Like instead of betting like standard your bet, I will reduce every bet by, I will say 25% to be just cautious, because sometimes like I remember one, not this season, last season, I had like 3 overs on the same game and I didn't even realize, like I was one bet, one early in the morning, one midday, one before the game. Had ton of bets that day, and I realized before the game I had 3 overs on the same game, and it ended up being blowout, and I lost all three, and it was real painful. So
Right.
tone it down a bit when you have overs on the same game, or you can always like do same game parlay. Like
Yeah.
yeah,
When it gets to like 4 or 5, then I start to be like, okay, a lot of exposure on the game. Make sure I'm covered in case there's just a weird score line, like a blowout like that. But from typically, if it's like 3 bets, if I feel like I have an edge, I'll just play all 3 edges, not as long as they're not inversely correlated. But again, depends on your risk, your risk tolerance, how much exposure you have on the game. If they could all lose if one thing goes wrong, but also like there's like 3 plays that are kind of correlated. Like if the game script goes the way you expect, then you can win all 3 plays rather than having to fight on each one
yeah.
individually. So a few ways to approach it.
That's why I do same game parlays. Like
Yeah, you can always take
yeah,
lower
skip
lines, play
time.
same
Yeah.
game parlay. So every situation's different. I guess the answer is there's a lot of ways you can go about it. If you have an edge, though, I wouldn't ignore an edge. That's how I usually feel for betting. Next play here. Jorge asks about Gobert 10 plus points and 10 plus rebounds at plus 105. We also had a comment from someone else, Elias, asking about Gobert double-double. So these kind of fit into similar categories here. Do you think Gobert's got a solid matchup against the Lakers here?
Yeah, last time we bet the double. I don't know if you remember. Last time he played
Right,
the
right,
Lakers, he had a
yes.
double. He ended up with 17 points and 12 rebounds. Yeah, I do like it. Just the thing is, without LeBron, I think Lakers defense could be better, and without LeBron, it's higher chance of a blowout. So this time it's like two negative things for this one. So I'm staying away. But overall, the handicap is similar.
All right. So you like Gobert? Decent matchup for him today. We'll go back to
Yep.
Nicholas Jepson asking about Chris Paul over 9.5 assists at plus 110. There was also sorry. This is the end. This is a comment. Chris Paul over 9.5 assists plus 110.
Yeah, the Portland defense sucks. So Chris Paul should should do damage in this one. I like the plus money on this one, but it's a lot. 10
That's a
assists
lot.
is a ton, and I do expect them to double team Bambi a lot, so that will not do well for Chris Paul assist because it does create chaos on the defense on the offense for the Spurs. So yeah, tough one. I'm certain that they will double Wembenyama, so that target is kind of not there for the Wemby for the Chris Paul. No drop coverage against Wemby as well. So like yeah, just difficult spot for me to take honestly.
All right. I'll try to get the name right today. Gielko asked about Harden over 8.5 assists at minus 110 or so, saying 2 games this season against, I would assume, against the same opponent here, the Denver Nuggets, of 16 assists and 11 assists. How do you like him tonight?
But at the 8.5, I kind of like it. 18 potential assists and 18 potential assists to both games. So 18 for Harden,
16
18
assists
potential
and
assists.
18 potential assists is crazy.
Yeah. Uh, I was just checking on the spot. Yeah. So when we look at the games, when he got 30 plus minutes, he's 50-50 on the line this season. But we need to look at the matchups, and they did play incredible matchups. So when he's not playing top 5 teams in assist allowed, he's covering this in 9 out of 16, average 9.6 assists. Didn't cover against the. Yeah, I think this should be like a decent spot. The decent
Okay.
spot to bring
Decent.
over.
Last
I
one.
will probably be on it way more if I didn't see how they defended Zubats last game because Zubats is his target for assist. So
Right.
if I like I don't like Zubats over. It's difficult for me to like Harden assists.
Right. That makes sense. Last one here. We have It's Me Dado again asking about Paul George over 17.5 points at 1.95, so minus 105 odds or so. PG loves to play against Indiana, one of his former teams. Do you like Paul George in this one?
I don't know who bet this, but it was 16.5 minus 110 like 15 minutes ago.
So somebody liked it.
Yeah, somebody liked it. Yeah, we already have a Maxi and Embiid, so I don't know about that. But last season he did score 26, 27 points and had massive usage against the Pacers. Yeah, he loves to play Pacers. Makes total sense why. And yeah, I don't
We
know.
bet one of those last year.
If I missed 16.5, I would not bet 17.5. But yeah,
I dislike missing the best price and then still
yeah.
playing something, even
That's
if I
my
like it.
issue as well sometimes. I
Yeah,
didn't like his usage at all. Again, in the last 2 games with Maxi and Embiid, his usage was non-existent. He was corner guy. Like
right.
against the Memphis, he had 2 points injury, but first half he played the entire first half, 17 minutes, only 2 points. Last game against the Bulls, one of the worst defensive teams in the league, he ended up with 12 points in 35 minutes. So that's the only sample size we have with Embiid and Maxi, and it's not good. So yeah.
All right. No worries there. That will end off the show. 4 official picks for the Friday slate. Big slate of games, big slate of bets. If you guys did enjoy the show, and especially if you're tailing the picks, make sure you have hit that like button. Would go a long way to supporting the channel, helping us find some new viewers. And if you are new to the channel, make sure you do subscribe as well for shows every weekday morning right here on the Board YouTube channel presented by FanDuel. Here are the picks today. We have Jarrett Allen over 13.5 points. I didn't write over 13.5 points. I should write it. Over 13.5 points. That was minus 128 on FanDuel. You could have shopped around and found something better, but minus 128 is also an acceptable price for this bet here. Second play, we have 76ers money line, Joel Embiid 25 plus points, and Tyrese Maxey 15 plus points. That's plus 122 at FanDuel. Third play, Nick Richards against the Bulls, over 20.5 points plus rebounds. That was minus 105 in a few spots as well. But as always, shop around for all the plays here. Final bet, Clippers, Nuggets, Norman Powell, over 20.5 points. Again, it was widely available at minus 120, and that will do it for the show. 4 bets. Let's have a winning Friday. Let's go into the weekend with a bit of extra profit. We'll be back on Monday to recap it. As normal, same time, same place for more from Pick and Roll. Thanks so much. We'll see you again next time.